Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome to AI UX Marketing and Software. Today I will show you how I use the Scroll Stopping Ads app to create stunning, attention-grabbing images for content and to market your products, services, and ideas. And this academy consists about 9 step-by-step, easy-to-follow lessons that build upon the next, and they all involve the Scroll Stopping Ads app. And you will, at the end, you will have observed how I use the AI prompting to create stunning images, and then you will start formulate your own ideas how you may want to use them. And if you hear some nature sounds, hopefully that doesn't bother. I am in my homeland, a beautiful Finland right now, visiting. So I apologize of that little bit of a noise. Okay, so we're gonna get started, and I'm just gonna start with this image, which is a Ford Thunderbird 1959. It's a very plain image, and I want to warn you that I may jump around a little bit from image to image, and so hopefully you can follow along. There is some method to my madness, and then in the end, it should all come together. So let's get started. I'm going to go to the beginning of this app. So first, you see the project's Scroll Stopping Ads Lesson 1 overview. So what you would do is you would have the ability to choose a folder, new folder, name your project, and then you start working under that project. And here you enter your image idea. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to copy the prompt. This is the prompt that I used, and I just copy it. And I go back up. I paste it here. And as you can see, there's also a prompt that tells you that you can create image ideas. So let's say you start with this pastel blue 1959 Ford Thunderbird, very basic direction, but now you want the AI to actually create image ideas for you. So you can click on that. I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now. And the next button is this photo realism button. I personally do not use it with Scroll Stopping Ads. I don't like it here, but I encourage you to try it out. See, maybe that's something that you would like. And then here's a mode called isolation. And under that, you see 4 options. None, which means there's no isolation. And then 3, black, white, and color, which isolates the image against either black, white, or colored background. And the difference is in these isolation mode, the image will stand out much more, and while the background remains in the background, while when you don't have the isolation, it's more like an overall picture. And the image itself, the main image doesn't stand out as much, but it still can be just as beautiful or gorgeous image. It's just what you're looking for. And so here you have the aspect ratio. You have the vertical 9:16, square 1:1, and then horizontal 16:9. And there's also advanced options. We are not going to get to it today. We're going to leave that for later. And you see create another image button. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it so you can see how it works. So I would just have the prompt a pastel blue 1959 for a Thunderbird. I'll do that once, but then we're going to go back to my originally created images. And it takes just a minute to create the image. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to see you on the other side once the image is created. Okay, so here's what it created. And if you noticed, I had put isolation none, which means it got a little bit more creative with it. It did not make it stand out just as an isolated image. And the aspect ratio was the vertical one. So it did what I had asked and got very creative. So one thing to know about this app, it has created so that it gives intrigue to the image and some unusual elements that you wouldn't normally find, kind of a magical element, which I love about this. And so hopefully you will enjoy it as much as I do. But I'm going to scroll down to the more basic images and show you kind of the progression initially that I had. So I started with this image, and it's the same prompt we just saw. And then I did not change anything except I recreated the image. Keep in mind, not changing the prompt doesn't mean that you always get the same image because the way this has been designed. So you will get different kind of options. So this one with the airplanes was the second creation. And as I said, I apologize, they are not in order. Then the third creation was this one with the pastel stripes. Okay, so it got very creative here. And these have all been in black isolation mode. So you can see how the car itself really stands out. And then the next one was this, still the same prompt. And it's very similar to the earlier image, except none of the pastel stripes. And now we have, again, the same prompt, but with reflection. The only difference is at this point, before I hit create, I had actually given ratings for the initial images. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. So once I had created 4 images, I decided to give a little bit of instruction to the AI and rate it. And this one, I thought, okay, it did what I'm asking. It's not super exciting, but it's what I asked, so I give it a 3. And I did not want these airplanes at all, so I give it 1. And this one, I thought it was really fun with the pastel stripes. I liked it, so I gave it a 4. And this one, I gave 3 because it was very similar to the original one in style. And then after I had rated it, now I hit create another image again. And this is what I got. And I really liked the reflection and the angle and the style of it. So I gave it 5. So after this, I decided to get a little bit more, go in a different direction, give a little bit different kind of prompt. And the prompt that I went with next has to do with adding a diner. So over here you can see different options. I'm going to go here where it says prompt, and it tells me I used a classic car business selling a pastel blue 1959 Ford Thunderbird, the pastel blue for a Thunderbird parked in front of a retro driving diner with neon lights. And I'm not going to copy it. I'm not going to go ahead and create any more images. I already have plenty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through these. So again, I did not initially rate this. I wanted to create a few images before I rated them. So I gave the first one 5 because I thought it was much to my liking. And here I gave 4. Also 4. It's nice, but I still like the first one the best. And this one I like the least, probably because of the birds. I just didn't think they fit there. Obviously, we could go ahead and edit them out, but for now, style-wise, I like the first one the best, so I gave it the highest rating. And this as well. This was very nice. Now, we're moving on. I wanted to put in a mountain scene. I tried it out. I didn't like the first one. I didn't like the second one. I decided that's not the direction I want to go anyway. It didn't make sense. So it's not necessarily that it didn't do what I asked, but because I decided I don't want to go in that direction, so I don't want to give it a high rating. So I gave 2 and 1. And here, I really wanted to give a lot more direction. And this was a stunning female drives a pastel blue 1959 Ford Thunderbird. She lets her long dark hair flow in the wind while she drives. The streets are lined with palm trees, bright tropical flowers, and opulent mansions. A close-up of a driver. So I thought it did very well. It's beautiful. She's stunning. And one thing to know again about this particular app, the scroll stopping app, it is meant to really kind of have you take a second look at it. And maybe there are elements that your brain doesn't first realize until later and give some intrigue. But sometimes it gets a little too playful and the intrigue is very obvious, like here. I think it's really fun that it decided to have the front of the car right behind her, but it's too fun, a little bit too much for my purposes. So even though I love the image in every other way, I gave it a 3 because of that. And then we're going to continue with the same prompts. And this was really nice. I gave it a 4, but it's still not exactly what I'm looking for. Plus, if you can see here, her head is in front of the windshield, even though it's subtle, it's still there. So I didn't want to give all the way 5. So I'm just going to go through. This one I loved. I thought it was really beautiful. And now if I'm looking at it, it looks like she's driving on the left side. That's not a problem because I can flip her go the other way. And we'll go into the editing functions later. So now she's driving on the side she's supposed to be driving. So we're good there. So I'm just going to go through. So AI got a little sexy. It was too much for me for what my purpose is. Also, she's disproportionately large and she's in front of the windshield. So I gave it only 2. And here it was all right. And I'm just going to go through these really quickly. Here I changed the prompt. And this time I asked the lady to be leaning against the parked car. And I may have changed some other aspects of the prompt. And then I continued with rating and seeing where it goes. So I really, really like this one and the previous. So I gave them 5. I love the colors. And I'll just go through these with you very quickly. And this one was the final one of these type of images. And I thought it was beautiful. So I gave it 5. So this is how I work from a very simple concept and develop it with some characters and scenes and settings and so forth. So now I'm going to go back to where you can see the actual editing functions. And again, some of these were in isolation mode, some were none. And we also have advanced options. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and then we can continue with the advanced options in another video. So thank you for watching, and go ahead and hop in for the lesson 2, and I'll see you there. Bye now.